Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Banks, and Ranking Member Kim, to the General and to Dr. Schaefer. Extremism in the military is a persistent threat. It has led to theft of military equipment, security breaches, harm to morale, mental health, unit cohesion and personnel retention, harm to recruiting efforts, and harm to mission success. Unchecked extremism damages our social fabric and undermines our democratic norms and institutions. Research from the Anti-Defamation League found that there's a significant evidence that service members today are encountering anti-Semitic and extremist personnel in their units, and that this extremist threat to the ranks has been harmful to the effectiveness and security of the force in multiple ways. In the summer of 2024, as part of the findings of the Department of Defense's Countering Extremist Activity Working Group review, the DoD released new directives aimed at addressing extremism in the ranks. I secured language in the 2023 NDAA that required the Department of the Secretary of Defense to report on the implementation and status of its training and education for Department of Defense members and civil personnel to protect the military from extremist recruitment and activity. So can you describe in detail what the Army is doing to make sure that this training is both effective and actionable?
Representative, thank you for the question. As part of my preparation for today's session, I reviewed the training materials associated with extremism, countering extremism training. It's very well designed. It's delivered in a standard package across the Army. As you've noted in your comments, we take maintaining good order and discipline in our formations very seriously, and the extremism policy is a key part of how we do that and deliver combat-ready units.
Thank you. In the 2017, the Military Times conducted a survey of over 1,100 service members that suggested that 1 in 4 had seen examples of white nationalism among their fellow service members. And in 2019, they repeated the survey and found that that percentage had risen to more than 1 in 3. What is the Army doing to address these service members' concerns, both in recruitment and in personnel management? What steps is the Army taking to protect minority service members from threats?
Sir, I think that the DoD instruction from 2021, again, was meant to clarify and tighten up the definition of extremism, and the newly rolled out Army regulation, the Army directive that we just rolled out in June will also address those issues and tighten up those definitions even more. So we do not tolerate extremism in the ranks, and these are meant to protect our folks.
Thank you. With the lack of propensity to serve among America's youth, how is the Army making sure that we are not missing the mark when talking about recruitment with women and with young people of color, especially ones that are concerned about extremism in the military?
So I would also add that we have screening processes during the accessions process, to screen out extremists along, again, the categories that the DoD instruction lays out. That's a DoD-wide policy. So we are trying to increase propensity to serve across all demographics. And we are trying to take an agnostic approach here, right? The policy itself, the extremist policy is agnostic. It doesn't call out particular groups or anything like that. Again, it is based on active participation. And so the increasing propensity, one of the ways we are doing that is reaching out to different parts of the country, trying to refamiliarize the country with what the Army does. And again, we're doing that across demographics and geographical areas.
Thank you. I'll just close, General, by adding my concern to the lack of transparency. I agree with several of the members who have spoken today. By not responding to that incident, it actually makes the overarching issue of addressing extremism that much more concerning. So whether here or in a classified setting, Mr. Chair, I would recommend that we ultimately get that response that members are asking for. I yield back.
Yes, sir.